Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone. I'm Charlie, the head of marketing and ecosystem at Aurora. I'm here with Martin, the head of ecosystem at Blocksense Network. We are super happy to have them on board. I'll start by giving a bit of history of our relationship. 2 weeks ago, a month ago, we did a big reach out to some of the best players in the Web3 space, to whom would like to help us launch 1,000 chain and provide to all those chain founders the best tools possible. And we got Blocksense, with whom we've been working, and that did a great work on helping us spread the messaging. And so we've been, thanks to this marketing campaign and this new approach, we've been able to attract some new chain founders. And so I'm super happy to have Martin here. Hello, welcome.
Hey, Charlie. Thanks so much for having me here, and great work with Aurora. You guys are doing an amazing job on the ecosystem side, and so good job driving marketing as well. Happy to be here and join you for this session.
Thank you so much. Let's straight jump in. You're talking to chain founders right now. Could you pitch them what you're doing in 1 minute?
Absolutely. So Blocksense Network did a 4 million pre-seed raise back in September. So we joined A16Z CSX, which is their crypto startup cohort, September through November. We're backed also by the founders of teams like Blockdemon. We have 3 Ethereum Foundation researchers backing us up. So even though we're a new player in town, we're already integrated with 60 chains. And we're looking to really change the game when it comes to oracles, because this multi-chain future, it needs better infrastructure. It needs better partners.
I love it. It seems that you guys have been working with the best, and now you're bringing the best product to the market. Could you tell me a bit more about within the Oracle industry, what is not working today?
Yeah, that's a great question. So whenever I talk to someone who's really deep in the space and I tell them a novel decentralized oracle, they're saying there's a lot of oracles out there, and they're right. But oracles today, especially the big players that are dominating the market, they're not built for a multi-chain future. And so I'll give you specific points, and this is also guidance to founders that are watching this and people that are building chains. I want you to think about 2 things at a very high level. One is cost and time to market, and the other one is flexibility. So when it comes to cost and time to market, a lot of the oracles, I encourage you to talk to a lot of oracles. If you're building a chain, a lot of the oracles, there's going to be these integration fees that can be tens of thousands to literally millions of dollars. The second thing is time to integrate. So we know, I literally have chains that are coming to us now. They're telling me, this oracle's telling me 6 to 8 weeks for integration. I can't wait. If you can support us faster, you're in. And the third thing when it comes to cost and time to market is the cost of operating. So it can cost thousands of dollars per month per feed. So when it comes to evaluating oracles, definitely look at integration fees, time to integrate, as well as cost of operation, and compare this, because you might be getting not the best deal out there. Now, the second thing is flexibility. So if you're building a chain and you're successful at what you're building, you need new feeds. And what can happen is you can have this nice package to start with, but then when you need a feed for a critical partner that you're supporting, they might ask you for 5 figures to build this. So building a new feed, there's not only cost associated there, but there's also lead time for building these. And the final point on flexibility is bringing non-price data or building more complex oracles. So a lot of the dominant players, they're locked in with price feeds, but bringing any other data on chain is a struggle or out of scope at best. So to recap, what's not working with oracles today, they're simply not built to support this multi-chain, 1,000-chain future. And my advice to builders and founders is look at integration fees, time to integrate, cost of operating, ability to build new feeds, as well as ability to bring non-price data on chain, depending on your needs as a chain or a protocol builder.
That's great. And from what you just shared here, how does Blocksense differentiate? What does it bring to the table compared to those either very famous Oracle or other kind of service providers?
Absolutely. So I love this question because I love to, I lead in with how much we raise, who's backing us up, how new we are, but how fast we're moving. And then I get typically the skepticism of like, but there's so many oracles. And so what I'll explain to you is a core aspect of what makes us different, and this is about our consensus mechanism. When you understand this, you'll understand why investors are really excited to work with us and support us, and why Blocksense is inevitable. Essentially, every chain will eventually run Blocksense. Where are you calling in from, Charlie?
Portugal, Lisbon.
Beautiful, lucky man, beautiful city. So imagine that you take 100 people in Portugal and you ask them what's the temperature in Lisbon, and whoever guesses close to the median, you reward them. So it's not immediately obvious, but in absence of communication, without people being able to figure out who's saying what, you would say the truth. So what we're doing is we're using game theory to achieve the consensus. It's called a Schelling point game. And we do a couple of things here that really enables this innovation. When it comes to Schelling point games, this was something that was written about 60 years ago. Vitalik wrote an article about this in 2013 for the potential of achieving consensus, but we have not seen this implemented with oracles. So imagine we take these 100 people, and one thing that we do is we take vote secrecy. So what this means is that, well, first we take a secret committee. So we don't ask all 100 people what's the temperature. We only ask a subset, say 10 people. Now, these 10 people can't reveal that they were selected to vote. To do that, they need to reveal their private key. So what does that mean? That means if you're an attacker, you don't know who's voting. So you need to bribe the whole network if you want to manipulate the result. But the second thing we do is vote secrecy. So people vote or say what the temperature is in Lisbon, but they can't prove how they voted. And so we're doing this through a couple of different things, but ZK Tech is involved in this. So what the implication of that is, again, using game theory, an attacker can bribe the whole network, but individual participants would still be incentivized to vote the correct way because they want to maximize their gain. So what you have is a collusion and bribery resistant, truly decentralized network to achieve consensus. And where things get really exciting is, imagine you're not asking what's the temperature in Lisbon, but you're running any kind of arbitrary IO compute, CPU or GPU. So what that means is you have the most flexible, decentralized platform to achieve consensus and to run any kind of compute. So this could mean bringing price data. This could mean bringing results from news. This could mean pulling any data from anywhere, but also programming this and adding any kind of custom logic. So what's different about Blocksense at its core is the way we achieve consensus, which along with our architecture allows us to build a very scalable solution that moves much faster to market.
That's fantastic. And earlier, you were mentioning of some of the challenges that you meet when you're trying to, for example, you're launching a virtual chain tomorrow. What do you guys are bringing on the table? You mentioned about pricing being excessive, time to integrate, etc. What are you guys bringing for virtual chain founders?
So right now, with the way we're kicking off with Aurora, what we do is, I think integration fees shouldn't be a thing with oracles, to be honest, and they can cost tens of thousands, again, to hundreds of thousands to millions. So what we do today for Aurora chain builders, we integrate ourselves, we integrate for free, and we integrate pretty quickly. In the coming months, we're going to make it possible for anyone to essentially do the integration themselves rather efficiently, and then you tap us on the shoulder, we start publishing data. So the first thing is we integrate for free, we integrate ourselves, and we integrate quickly. The second thing is we are already bringing 700 feeds to you. So just this morning, we enabled feeds on Aurora testnet. So you could already see data that we're publishing. I'm happy to add some information in addition to this video. I can add some links for that. So we're already bringing these 700 feeds. We can support the builder and build custom feeds, including bringing data that is not price data on chain. And we're already on the testnet. The third thing is we're integrating for free, we integrate ourselves. We already published this data, but you have a very easy way to actually connect with us. Let me share my screen here and I'll pull up the marketplace tab. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep.
Beautiful. So good job with creating the marketplace. So if anybody wants to connect with us, learn if we can support them, or honestly, if you're evaluating oracles and you want to just chat with someone that's been looking at the space with a lot of attention, you can connect with us. So if you go to the Aurora Cloud Marketplace, you can find Blocksense, you can pull up our page, you can read about our programmable Oracle SDK. That's how eventually we allow anyone to bring any data on chain themselves. And you can just hit this request integration button, share your handle in a message, and hit submit request. So we will be adding more information here, but this is a quick and easy way to connect with us.
That's great. Yeah, you want to add anything?
Yeah, there's a specific call I want to make. So today, if you're especially building or bringing a lender on your chain, so lenders, LSTs, LRTs, asset issuers, definitely connect with us. Even if it's still early with what you're building with your chain, hit me up. Let's connect. I might be able to support you in other ways, do some referrals, potentially, or introductions. But these are the teams that we're seeing the most traction with right now.
That's great. And I'm seeing in the chat some Blocksense pirates. Could you tell me a bit more about your community and when you're launching with blockchain, what Blocksense, what does it mean? Because we have those founders, we've built this marketplace so that they realize that those chain founders are not launching alone, they're launching with a whole ecosystem. Could you share a bit more? Because I've been seeing those pirates, your community in those Twitter feeds, sharing more about this partnership, what we're doing. Would they be able to pitch their project, talk to your community, etc.?
Yeah, that's a great question. So shout out to our pirates. Let me start with this. Building a community as something that looks like infrastructure, I think is very challenging. And we have amazing people supporting us and amazing people that helped us build the community to where it is. So if you think about oracles today, there's these few fairly centralized players at the top. Some of them control all the validators. Some of them achieve consensus through a multi-sig between a small number of businesses. What we're saying is the implications of this is that there's high costs, longer time to market, people can't bring feeds on chain. So we're saying, let's get rid of all of these barriers, and anyone should be able to bring any data on chain. Anyone should be able to run a node and benefit from being part of that system. So I think community is an essential part of building Blocksense. One part of this is bringing and involving protocols and chains. A second part eventually will be building feeds. The third part is definitely running the nodes, because we don't want to have a few large rich corporations that are running the nodes and are gatekeeping access. And so community is essential. When you engage with us, so we're already in the Aurora Discord, you please come and join the Blocksense Discord as well. You can meet the pirates. We have regional communities, and there are some exceptional people supporting the community and being active on there. We also host a monthly update where we talk the community through what we can share, at least publicly. So you can join our Discord, follow us on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. I'm happy to follow back and engage with builders. And yeah, it's ultimately we're building this 1,000-chain future, but to build it, Aurora is a part of it, Blocksense is a part of it, but then the builders and the community are essential to actually make things happen. So again, shout out to the pirates. I really appreciate you guys.
I love it. I love it. I'm seeing before we close down, I'm seeing a question from Anton. I don't know if you can see it in the tool we're using regarding. Let me show it. Regarding the price feeds, if you're exploring complex data service like AI inference or real world compute, do you have any inputs on this?
I see the message. So I haven't connected my account here, so I can't respond, but hi to everybody that messaged already. So Anton, the short answer is yes. So if you caught the beginning of our talk, the flexibility of the Blocksense platform ultimately enables you to run any kind of verifiable IO compute, CPU or GPU. So this is something that will come in due time, but it's an area where we're seeing interest and where our platform would be able to support. So hit me up on Twitter, or even email me at martin@blocksense.network. And I'm curious to learn where you're coming from with this ask, what you're building, etc. So thanks so much for dropping that question in.
Awesome. I love this kind of question because Anton is potentially building his chain. So let's get the conversation going and let's set up all this for him and make them successful. I think we had a great session right now. I'd love to have you say any last words. It could be praising chain founders, because we all know building is complicated and you need to be ambitious, and even more if you want to launch a chain. Do you have any last word for any founders out there?
I am really excited for you guys. So the space has gone a long way. If you look at Aurora, what Aurora is building and the way they're building it, it's very clever. I think you can have a lot of different partners to build chains out there, but Aurora definitely taking a different approach. And I'm just excited for you guys to build because the kind of support and access you have today, you couldn't have even just a year ago. And please follow and let's engage on Twitter. Check out the Blocksense page and join the Discord community. There's a lot that you could get out of that. Even if you are not going with an Oracle yet, but you want to learn about Oracles, there's a lot of good people that you can learn from. And ultimately, a lot of crypto is revolved around today DeFi, and DeFi wouldn't exist without Oracles. So Oracles are an essential component, and I'm happy to share what we're learning as we're building and educate at the end of the day. So excited for you guys. Good luck, have fun, and let's connect.
Thank you so much, Martin. We were super happy to have you. Thank you for being part of this movement, and we're looking to have even more integration in this 1,000 chains to go. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone being here. Please stay and follow our Twitter. We'll have another session like this on Friday with another partner. We're super happy to have them all together. We're working together to bring you more chains, more interesting stuff to look at. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care, Charlie. Appreciate you.
Take care.